or a color. And that tells me that I'm good. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's one of those idioms I just don't get in life. Maybe it makes me an idiot for not understanding an idiom. I don't know. But anyways, enough about me. I want to hear from you. What are your wins, your celebrations, your something you're proud of just from yesterday or this morning? I don't care.
I'm throwing an event at the end of the month, and I met with the people that are helping me organize it. Feeling a little overwhelmed about all the tasks, but we got a lot of things knocked out yesterday, so I'm happy about that.
It's exciting. What's the goal of the event?
The goal of the event is to bring not only like my group of friends, they're all women, but other ladies, it's like a networking event for like-minded women, other entrepreneurs, and then the event itself, everyone's going to bring in like gently used clothing and we're going to swap it out. We're going to swap it with other people. So it's called Sip and Swap.
Step and swap. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Marketing, connection, networking,
Yeah.
all the
Wait,
above.
I'm late. That sounds really fun now. I want to come.
You'll have an invite. You just have to be a lady, an entrepreneur,
Yes,
and in California.
exactly.
I
Weird.
have so many clothes I need to get rid of too.
Exactly.
She
So
loves
around
sip and swap.
springtime.
Sip and swap. All right. I know you guys don't want to follow up after something that cool, but I know you got something, so share it.
I am in the process of redesigning and restructuring my entire program. I'm finally starting to make some headway on it, and I'm really excited about what it's going to be when I'm done.
That's awesome. That's awesome. If there's anything I know, Seth, it's when you're going to redesign something, it's going to come out fucking 10 times better. I'm excited for you guys. Those of you that are in Seth's purview, good luck. Good luck dealing with all that greatness. All right, one more. Something good.
Well, this is big for me, but it's really small. But I actually did my database management and input my contacts.
That's big, girl. I'm proud of you. That's
I
huge.
never do that. I never do that.
Now we just got to follow up with them. We've talked about follow up 1,000 times, right? The fortune is
I
made
know.
in the follow up. So I was watching something yesterday, and it really pertains to that very situation. Follow up and data. Like, Joanne, you're a hunter. We know this. You love to hunt. I was watching a video. I don't know if it was on YouTube or Facebook or I don't know. You know how I just one it pops up like the universe sends me a message that I need to share with you guys, and it's a cheetah that's chasing down an alpaca, or a mountain lion chasing down an alpaca, and I'm watching this graceful giant run, and then this cheetah grabs onto the back of it, climbs on its back, grabs onto its neck, and the alpaca like puts on the brakes and flips this cheetah off the front of it, and then runs over top of it 5 or 6 times, and this cheetah gets back up, and he just or this lion grabs onto the alpaca again and again and again. The alpaca avoids it, avoids it, avoids it. And then the alpaca runs off with the pack, and the cheetah just stops there. And it says, and it goes to a split screen, and it says 4 out of 5 of the mountain lion's attacks, 4 or 5 of the hunting trips end in failure. And then there's 3 little cubs that come out of the mountain lion's area, and it comes up and it nuzzles it. And then it goes to the next screen and it says, but it never quits. Because that mountain lion used every ounce of its energy multiple times trying to take down something 5 times bigger than it, jumping on its back, at its neck, clawing and grabbing. It just wasn't timing. Well, that was 1 of 5 hunts that's going to happen. Well, maybe the next 4 are failures, but the 6th one will be a win. Do you think that mountain lion's done hunting that alpaca?
No.
No. What's it doing? It's regrouping. It's like, man, that didn't work.
Strategizing.
I'm gonna do something different. And I'm gonna come back at it. 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 I'm gonna come back at it because I can't give up because those 3 little creatures over there rely on me. Now, Joanne, that should anchor with you pretty well because you have three little creatures that rely on you,
2.
and your pets, and yourself,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right? Some of us
Yeah,
have
which
5, some of us have 1, some of us are our own little creature to rely on.
My own little creature.
But if 4 out of 5 hunts are not successful, yet the mountain lion's known as one of the best hunters in the region, and it fails 80% of the time, but it never quits.
which brings me, I door knocked the other day, and I told the story to Jenny. I told her, yeah, I ran into a lady. She wants to sell and move to Georgia, but she has a realtor, a family friend, and like her husband died, and she has a realtor, but she and so I just left it, and then I told Jenny about it, and she's like, if you were her, how would you feel? If you're like an old lady and you live by yourself, like how would you feel? I'm like, well, overwhelmed. And she's like, well, what could you have offered her? And I said, well, maybe some like decluttering service, or um, some kind of like moving service for old people, like for seniors. Or she's like, well, maybe she needs some kind of like service like Revive or Curbio. Like you could take some stuff off of her plate. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm probably going to go back today or tomorrow and go back and, I guess, try again to your
Yeah.
story, right?
Try again.
I'm going to try again. So I'm going to go back.
I think one of the worst
and
things we can do is we take a bit of a rejection or a setback and we stop. Well, just because you get their contact information and they're interested in buying or selling a house and you don't get them to commit to a contract that single day, is that transaction dead?
No.
No. That's why 90%, it's not even 80, it's 90% of people you talk to aren't going to be ready for at least 6 months. We talked about this the other day. Are A, B, and C buyers and sellers? You even identified that A buyers are less than 1%. That was your own business, Joanne.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of talked about maybe it's 10%. Well, what are we giving up if we stop following up, if we stop hunting? What are we giving up if we stop going after the meal? Well, you're creating a situation that you're going to fail ultimately. You're also making life hard on yourself. So every failure, so the opportunity that you just learned is what could you do, gets you to a different point to ask more questions. What could I have done? What could I still do? How can I re-strategize? Love that word, Fabi. Re-strategize. Because as we are working in business, we have a unique opportunity ahead of us, and that is to change. We don't have to stay one course of action. We don't have to do it the same way every single time. It creates consistency if we're able to do the same thing over and over and over again and create repetition, which is fantastic. But are we stuck? No. We have the unique ability to go and say, that didn't work. Let me adjust something. Small micro adjustments.
Yeah, I would have given up had I not spoken to Jenny and like shifted the mindset. I'm like, oh, she has a realtor. I'm just gonna leave it. So yeah, just that shift.
How many people do you know that have a realtor?
Right.
How many people have you done business with that have another realtor?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't care if they've got another realtor. I don't care if they've got another person. Fuck, I used to not care if they had a boyfriend, right? Kind of a toxic way of being, but that was me in my 20s. It's okay. But here's the thing. If we use that as an example of why not to talk to somebody, now it just becomes a blanket objection anyone can throw at you. And what if they don't have a realtor and they're just telling you, I already have a realtor? How much different is I have a realtor to I'm just looking? It's called a smokescreen. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It's fake. It deserves interrogation. Okay, great. You have a realtor. Fantastic. Let me show you what I can do to help you. Here's this, and this.
You're speaking if they're not signed with the realtor, but if they're signed, then it's a different story, right?
Well, if they're signed with a realtor, they're going to say totally different things. But everyone knows somebody who's in real estate. Everybody. And if they don't, I don't understand where they're living or how they don't know somebody. Fortunes are made in the follow-up. So what kind of follow-up are we doing? How do we follow up? I want you to remember this term. It's called polite persistence. Polite persistence. What does that mean to you? Somebody give me their definition of the words polite persistence.
To keep following up with people, show them that you care. That goes a long way.
Yeah. Polite persistence. Show them that you care. Keep following up. All right, what else? Someone else. Thank you, Mara.
I would say constantly or kindly circling back to the same, conversation.
Kindly circling back. I like that.
I think the 36 touch is polite persistence, providing value, but being consistent.
Providing value, being consistent. Okay. All of you guys have given me great feedback, great definitions of it. Whatever it means to you, I want it to mean to you, right? Polite persistence to me means I am going to continue to follow up with you until I have resolved the initial inquiry. You told me you wanted to buy or sell a house. I am going to continue to follow up with you until said moment happens. I live by a motto, buy or die. I'm going to follow up with you until you either do something or tell me to fuck off. Buy or die. But I'm going to do so politely. I'm going to do so persistently. I'm going to provide value, not just, hey, Fabi, are you still in the market for a house? Hey, Anthony, do you still want to sell your house? Hey, no, I'm going to say, did you know rates are coming up? Did you know values are going down? What does this mean to you? Hey, just saw this house popped up in the neighborhood you were thinking about buying for. What are your thoughts? Did you know this has happened? This is just happening in the government. Oh, the federal just said this, and this is how it's going to affect you. I'm providing value that's circling back to the initial conversation. Follow-up is not hard. 36 touch. 36 touches. Oh my God, that's so many touches. Okay. Is it though? We've talked about 36 touch before many times. We're going to talk about it many more. Every month you're sending them a market update. That's 12 touches. You call them on their birthday. You wish them a Merry New Year's, happy holidays, whatever. That's 2 phone calls. Now you're at 14 touches. You got 4 micro seasons in a year.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy home anniversary.
Yeah. You can come up with reasons to touch 36 different times easily. 4 phone calls a year just from your quarterly call plan.
Monthly market update emails 12.
Yeah. Update emails 12. If you do a community event once a quarter, there's 4 more. Do a postcard. Right? Then you're sending them random text messages of checking in. How's your family? Ford call, right? Do 4 different Ford texts. How's the family? How's work going? What are you guys doing to stay busy? Hey, as we move into summertime, what are your goals? What fun things are you doing with the kiddos? Where's your next trip? There's all things you can do to create a 36 touch. And you can circle them around the relationship, not just, do you want to buy a house? Do you want to sell a house? there's absolutely no reason to be afraid to follow up with somebody. How many of us get that fear though? The call reluctancy. It may not feel like fear to you, but it is. It's call reluctancy. I'm reluctant to make a phone call for X, Y, and Z reasons. So what are those reasons? What are the things that we're doing to create that mental fog that keeps us from going, you know what, this is actually a good thing to call and talk to these people? Raise your hand if you've ever made a phone call that you were scared to make and it turned out to be a pretty damn good phone call. Right? You're like, ah, fuck, I don't want to talk to this guy. Last time I called him, he yelled at me. Give him a call. What's up, Dan? We were just thinking about you. I think you're getting ready to put the house on the market next week. When can we meet? You're all, what? Next week? I've been calling you for 3 years. But now they're finally ready. I hope that we're touching something this morning. A little bit of mental goop upstairs. Follow up. How do you follow up best? It's a band name. It's the first word. The other two words are of a down.
System.
Systems. Broccoli. No, not broccoli. You're wrong. Systems, right? Systems. God. What is the most effective CRM to use?
The one that works.
The one you use. Now, if it's a database, fantastic. A database, you could probably do some data mining, some archiving, some tags and other things. Probably a little bit better than Excel spreadsheet, but a whole lot better than just your cell phone. Who could go through your cell phone right now and tell me every single person that you have in your contacts list, something about them? That's what I thought. But if you're in your database, you can tag them. Oh, that was an open house lead, or that was somebody I met at the dog park. That was somebody I met at the sip and swap. I almost said sip and slip.
Sip and swap.
Don't sip too much. You might slip. That's the thing. So when you tag them, it becomes a conversation. Hey, Fabby, remember we talked at that sip and slip a couple weeks ago, and we swapped some jeans. They were pretty cool. I just want to say thank you again. It was amazing to meet you there. It was awesome to talk with you. How's life been? How's your family? Boom. Now there's a mutual connection point. How do I know you? We fought over a pair of lucky jeans at the sip and swip.
That's my next event.
That's Fabby's next event. Sip and swap.
It's gonna look really cool.
It's going to be pretty badass. And she's going to put it on YouTube. She's going to market it to YouTube. She's going to talk about it right now. You're all invited if you're girls and entrepreneurs in Southern California. Or if you identify as such.
Yep.
No. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? I talked about systems and follow-up a lot. I think that's the most important thing you guys can put in your business today is systems and follow-up. Systems and follow-up. Anyone got a weird situation, follow-up that you want to talk about that might shine some light on why you would do it for other people?
Well, I do have a good example of it just working. He was a past client they bought 4 years ago, and I just always send them the newsletters and my cards. And she's only picked up the phone maybe once or twice in the last 4 years, but she just reached out last week to say, hey, we want to sell our house. So you want to help us?
There you go. Love
I
that.
had a for sale by owner seller. I emailed the contracts to, and he was delaying. And I kept following up. No response, ghosted, etc. And then out of the blue, text me tomorrow. Hey, Jim, I've got the contract on my desk. I'm signing it tomorrow. I'll give you a call. I'm like, oh, I thought you weren't interested.
What we get for assuming, right? We all know what happens when you assume. No?
But I know that persistence is what it takes. So I stayed on it, even though I wasn't letting my limiting beliefs think that they weren't interested.
Good. I love that you battled the limiting belief in your head, You starved it and you went around it. Gary Keller said this best, and I love that. He goes, the beautiful thing about limiting beliefs is if you feed them, you get to keep them. So don't feed them. Call reluctance is a limiting belief, or, oh, they don't want to hear from me, or I called them already, or I've already talked to that person. Trust me, they have not heard from you nearly as much as you think they have. Even if you called them last week, they forgot about it. Maybe last week to you was 2 months ago because you've thought about them multiple times. They haven't thought about you. That
Well,
is
also, real estate is your life. I was going to say real estate's your life. It's not their life.
Right. You're the one that's centered around it. They're not. So follow up is key to our business, right? We follow up on what we say we're going to do. Call people back. Hey, I can't talk right now. Call me back tomorrow. Boom. Put it on your calendar. Call them back. Do what you said you were going to do. Pretty simple stuff. When it comes to follow-up, there's all kinds of ways to do it. Don't rely on automation alone. Embrace AI. You know, use your broker bot, your chat GPT, whatever you got, and put in there, say, this is the type of person I'm talking to. They're a seller or a buyer. They're probably a couple months down the road. They're this type of personality. They had this type of communication. These were their objections. Help me create a short-term, mid-term, or long-term follow-up campaign that I can follow that would be most effective for this person. How would that be, having hyper specific follow-up campaigns per person? Right? Anyone, is that pinging a bell for somebody? Okay, tell me more. What would that look like? Do you think different types of people need different types of follow-up? Love you.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Good. Thank you, Jessica, for being actionable. I think everyone else just freaked out when I said use AI. They're like, what? You told us not to rely on automation. No, I said don't rely on automation, which means having the system do it for you. The system will help you, but it doesn't replace you. You are responsible for the relationship, my friend. So if you're responsible, who do you want to do the work? Right? It's not a task. I want you to look at it this way. Follow-up is not a task. It is not something to just check off the box. What is it?
It's essential.
I think that's
It's essential. Okay.
I think that's how you build like genuine connection and relationship with people.
Yeah, it's a relationship you're genuinely building. It's furthering the relationship. Right? Go back to dating. If you're not dating, I'm sorry, but go back to when you were dating. Were you excited the other person called you or texted you? Because it moved the relationship. It moved the energy. You guys had a good connection. It was like, yeah, this is awesome. But it's not a task. It's not something I gotta make my phone calls. No, it's, you know what? I was thinking about you and I wanted to send you some energy. I do not have a reminder on my phone that says, you haven't texted your wife in 4 hours. Send her a message. No, I get out of a meeting and I'm like, shit, I haven't heard from Jess all morning. Love you, babe. I hope you're having a great morning. I mean, if you want to send that text message to your sellers, it's on you. But I want the same type of energy. Hey, I just walked out of a meeting. We were talking about some rate buy down stuff. I think this might be good for you and for your husband when you guys want to buy a house. Give me a call. Let's chat about it. Hey, I just walked out of an appraiser seminar talking about X, Y, and Z values, and I think you told me that your house had this. That might be a good value proposition to future buyers. Right? Hey, just read this article. I think it pertains to what you're trying to do. Check it out. The source of the source, right? It's not a task like, oh shit, I haven't talked to Mike in a while. No, it's reach out and check on people. He called me yesterday just to check on me. Hey man, how you been? How's things? How you doing? Trust me, people want that. They want to hear from you. They want to know that you care. As the old saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If you're after a paycheck, can they tell? Yeah.
Definitely.
They can tell that you have one agenda. They can tell you're there just for the transaction to close. You want nothing else to do with them. Here, sign here, give me my money, fuck off. That is not the energy you want to have. I was talking to Steve Lemons the other day. We had lunch a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. And we were talking about some old deals. He was telling me how he had to cut his buyer a check for, it's like $1,500 for a mistake that the agent made. And he was just trying to make it all right. I was like, dude, isn't $1,500 pretty much everything you made on that deal? He goes, Dan, I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about the relationship. I don't count transactions. I count relationships, because that agent may have fucked up that deal, but that buyer now knows that I was there to protect them and take care of them. So in 5 to 7 years from now, when that buyer wants to refinance or buy a new house, who do you think they're going to call? Plus, he's probably going to market to them and communicate with them for the next 5 to 7 years. And the agent is likely not to. He owns the relationship. I'm responsible for the relationship. None of that shit works on grumpy people like Jess that hates people talking to her. But I will say this, when you have a grumpy person like Jess who hates talking to people, when she knows you're there to protect her and you will do everything in your power to make sure her desires are met, she'll call you out of nowhere. She'll call you out of nowhere. But if you're the type of person that's like, man, I'm going to call you every 36 hours, probably not a good thing. I courted her for 7 years, right? I didn't talk to her for 4 years. And look at us now, married and happy-ish. You guys, I wish you could hear her commentary.
Just about ready to kill you.
She is. I've got the chair blocking me because I'm on the treadmill. So there's a chair between me and her. So it gives me a half a second buffer. So if I drop, call the police. So
She's smarter than that. She'll cut the internet first.
Don't give her ideas. She didn't know about that. There's too many guns in this house.
Right.
So, all right. But just think about that. Maybe play with AI today. Talk with your broker bot or your chat GPT and put in there. It's like, hey, this is the client I've been working with. Help me with a better customized follow-up routine that would work for this type of person. Who's going to give that a shot? Okay. Guys, I don't want to just talk about things on this call for posterity. I'm not here checking a box. I want to make sure that we're doing something good for you. Okay. So speaking of good for you, tomorrow I won't be here. Seth is promoting from 8th grade. So he gets to walk across the 8th grade stage, and it's like a mini graduation for him. And that is right in the middle of this call. So instead of getting stabbed by my wife by walking out of the stadium, I'm going to just avoid that situation and drop you guys like bad habits. And I'll see you guys on Thursday morning. But you'll still be able to come on this call because you have each other. You don't need me. You got Jim, you got Anthony, you got Joanne, Rachel, Jessica, Audra, Alexa, Mara, everybody. You're here for each other, right?
Yes, we will be here.
All right. I'm proud of you. I'll see you guys on Thursday morning. If you need me, call me, text me. I'm excited to hear Thursday what you guys did with AI for fall.